Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, originally named Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, but today we'll be going for the American way, so call it the Sorcerer's Stone. Hi guys, and welcome to this video. Today we talking about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So, how about we get started? This is the original version that a lot of people might have. This was the very first book which I read Harry Potter myself. And then eventually I bought this book which had all the same words as this, but had illustrations in it. So today, instead of using this as a cover-up, well, I'll use it for one thing though. Just use it for now. I'll be using this book with the illustrations in it. So how about we get started? Now, the illustrations in this book are created and drawn by Jim Kay. But for the sake of this video, before we start, I'd like to show you what my costume has. It is a hat. Actually, I have to say hood because this is attached to the robe with all that pointy stuff. And also, the best of all, a wand. Ow. And a head wig. I forgot you could turn this. Hello. And so, how about we get started with this episode? However, you'll be here for now. This hood is getting a bit hot, and I will take my wand back inside. So, about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Fun fact, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was originally the Philosopher's Stone when it was first published, and eventually Americans decided to make it more Americanish-like and get the magic in it. So they called it the Sorcerer's Stone. And if you look at the cover for this, you'll see little Harry Potter over here. Here's Hedwig. Yeah, that's exactly Hedwig. And, the Hogwarts Express on platform 9 3/4. So then, that's how it works. But now I'd like to talk to you about the intro. And now here is the big fat pig, Dudley, during his baby ages. Here's his mom and dad, Mr. Dudley and Mrs. Dudley. Now, and they had the greatest secret of their life, the Potters, which they did not want anybody else to figure out. And then they hated unusual stuff, like a tabby cat reading a map. And that was possible, that is. And eventually they hated the owls on the news. They hated literally every bit of thing that was unusual. They didn't even enjoy flying motorcycles. They just liked everything the way they did. Hagrid is here so that he can bring little Harry Potter back to his original spot and place to the Dudleys. And now, 11 years later, here's Harry Potter in his cupboard. A little bit sad. But then, here's Dudley's little smelting uniform, where he loved a lot of things. And Harry had to get a bit of repair stuff. And then the letters from no one, where Mr. Dudley had to fight Harry and Dudley, who was a bit of a little tyke, as she said, for getting the letter. He burnt them all. He went so desperate to close all the enclosures that could actually get the letter in. But then eventually, they had to move away because Mr. Dudley became mad. Hagrid came as the keeper of the keys. And eventually, he met Harry. Sent an owl and turned Dudley's little butt with a little pig tail on his little butt. Ow! Then Hagrid and Harry went all the way to Diagon Alley. I know it's here somewhere. Oh, whoa. Not too far. They went to Diagon Alley and went to Gringotts, but there were a lot of goblins. Well, not that photo. There's more Diagon Alley. And here's the goblin from Gringotts. Looks like this is a glass eye and this is a real eye. And here is Draco Malfoy. Just looks like him, don't you think? He even looks like the Slytherin type. Even his nighttime makes him feel a bit uncomfortable, and the measuring tape. Wow. The Harry was given a lot of choices at once, and eventually he was given the wand that chose him. This wand, which some phoenix tail in it, but I guess it could work out why. And then this twin was actually the bad guy, Voldemort's own twin wand. Own brother, as I might have said. And then the Hogwarts from platform 9 3/4 came up. Here is Albus Dumbledore, who was a lover and a lot of simple stuff, like simple life. He loved simple life, and he longed for a pair of socks. I'll explain later. But then, however, one day he became the principal and headmaster of Hogwarts. Alright, that was a lot of struggle in that one. Here is Ron Weasley, Harry Potter's friend, and eventually, I guess they met Hermione Granger, but it didn't show her picture yet. Here's the Hogwarts little castle, and then the Sorting Hat. Here are all the ghosts that were new to the first years, and here is his Sorting Hat, which looks a bit too more like an apple, don't you think? Here's Mr. Quirrell, who's still a bit trembling, but eventually he had a lot of classes and a lot of stuff that happened. Eventually he became the Seeker, and the Seeker was really cool and all. He got his own Nimbus 2000 fastest broom yet. And here are the 4 balls. And here is the troll that was really stupid. Oh, and the useless, and here is Harry fighting a troll. And the useless guide for trolls. Which I'll skip. Eventually, he had Quidditch, where it was snitch time. Hermione, here's now Hermione herself, conjuring up a blue light that can be put inside a jar. And then the Quidditch match from the stands came. Hermione set fire on Severus Snape, and here is Harry Potter going into the Quidditch stadium. But then, after all that Quidditch, she lost a lot of points for him, and eventually he met the Mirror of Her Eyes, where, when he looked into it, he saw his most desperate thing of all. See his parents. But at least 10 of his family. He never knew his own family. So this is what happened. And eventually, Harry and Dumbledore decided that their eyes would be gone. Then, finally, after lots of useless adventures, Harry Potter went to his most exciting and the most dangerous adventure of all, the find of the Sorcerer's Stone. And this Sorcerer's Stone was in a lot of ways. He went down a trap door, got into a tangle with Devil's Snare, and eventually had to play a giant wizard's chess. And with the help of Ron, he beat it. And eventually, potions stuff. And the potion stuff, where Hermione got to go back and Harry go forward. And then the man with 2 faces. Quirrell with both of his faces. One side his own face, and the back was Voldemort. Boom, 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 boom. Harry fought Voldemort, and eventually he was able to regain his consciousness. He was alive the next day. And eventually, he went to the end of the Aeophists, where Slytherin had won. But then, last minute points, 50 points to Ron, 50 points to Hermione, 60 points to Harry, and 10 points to Neville Longbottom. Gryffindor won first place. So then, a lot of things started getting complicated. All these things started having a good end. And at the King's Cross station, he started getting in, and he said, I'll have a lot of fun with Dudley this summer. So then, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. This is just a book for entertainment. You can learn something from here that love is very powerful. And as Albus Dumbledore said, it is not due to dwell on dreams and forget to live. Remember that. By Albus Dumbledore. And it's always important what love is. Any good or hate will never ever withstand the bounds of the protection of love. Anybody who tries to break the bounds of the protection of love and whoever they wanted to kill, love will always protect that person that was about to get killed. Love is a magic stronger than any dark magic itself. And when somebody loves you, you get a protection of love by it. Or as they say in the Harry Potter. But as we learn in the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone about a lot of stuff, we still have a lot of Harry's adventures with Voldemort. Eventually with the final showdown and installment of the Harry Potter series. But that isn't it. You can read the Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, but that would go that long. So, this is the end of this episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hate this witch! Please hit like if you hate this witch. Okay, that's it. I'm a wizard! Okay, I hope these words. Wingardium Leviosa!